Hey Cancer, welcome to your reading. It's Empress Rose here. These are general readings. We take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch a wavelength on this reading, check your other major placements. They are Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So we're going to start with the botanical inspirations for a little inspiration, and then we'll move into a more traditional tarot spread with the Golden Tarot. Oh, and then we'll end up with the Kuan Oracle. All right, what do we got here? Okay, I will take it. Oh, it's only one? Fascinating. It felt like a book fell out, but it was just one. Heavy. Gladiola, strength of character and moral integrity. Character cannot be developed in ease and quiet, only through experiences of trial and suffering. Great. Can the soul be strengthened, vision cleared, ambition inspired, and success achieved? I'm not sure if the only way, I really don't like to think of things as there's only one way, but, oh, that's by Helen Keller, that quote. Gladiola, strength of character and moral integrity. Themes. So these are Victorian illustrations with Victorian themes of what the flowers meant. Gladiola is my grandfather's favorite flower. All right, for whom this channel is named. All right, Cancer. I am not Cancer. I don't really even have any in my chart. This is your past. This is your present. This is your inner landscape. This is what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Yeah, I guess. Strength of character and moral integrity required in this situation. Holy crap, yeah. The situation is all the shittiest swords. In your recent past, you have this King of Coins. This is you, or this is somebody in your life. Actually, I was just talking about my grandfather, and here's a grandfatherly figure. This is someone who has everything they need. They've accomplished materially. They are very accomplished. It could be an authority figure over you at work, a boss. They're methodical, they're plodding, they plot and they plod, right? And they've achieved quite a bit through slow and steady. They have everything they need. They have their own home, they have their money, their coins, they're precise and like to plan things out and like to execute a plan. They're not particularly fast movers or fast talkers. They're very, very solid individuals here. But they do keep an eye on their money. They like to manage their money. And then in the present situation, we have the Seven of Swords here. This is about stealing. So here we have someone with a lot of money and plenty of money, what they need. They've worked hard for it. And then they're probably an authority, probably an older gentleman. And then now here we have the scoundrel in your present situation. Is this you? Is this somebody you know? Somebody's lying. Somebody's keeping secrets. Somebody's not talking, refusing to talk about something. There's supposed to be some sort of conflict, some sort of battle, some sort of conflict waged, but instead someone's being incredibly secretive. And they're stealing or they're lying. So secretive, not talking, lying, these are all manipulations, a way to get a leg up on someone, a way to have more power than anybody else in the situation. What was probably going to happen was an argument or a debate and they were going to lose. So seeing that, this person is taking off with all of the ideas. They're stealing the ideas. They're stealing the communication. They're lying. This is this energy right here. So when we lie to people, when we withhold information from people, we take away a bit of their humanity. A bit of their own agency over their own life. We decide whoever does this kind of shit decides that they are going to run life better than the other people, that they're going to put themselves over the other people and not allow the other people to make decisions for themselves, to have all of the information, make decisions. Why? Because they know they're going to lose. They're going to lose something. If they played fair, they would lose something. Maybe they would just lose a couple men in the battlefield, maybe, but whatever, they don't want to lose anything. So rather than be fair, rather than give you all the information you need to make decisions, they're going to withhold information from you, steal from you. I want to say withhold information or lie. It could also be stealing, especially since we have this King of Coins here. If this is professional, we could have someone trying to undermine you professionally, trying to steal your position. I knew someone who did that, spread lies about her boss so that she could take her boss's job. And so that kind of behavior of lying, dishonesty, and manipulating a situation in a very sneaky, underhanded way. It's underhanded, and it's because they want the upper hand. So taking away some agency from other people here, right? Taking away their swords, their ability to defend themselves, their ability to engage in open conduct. So somebody is doing that right now. And this whole reading, if you don't have anxiety by the end of this reading, you're amazing psychology here. No, I don't want you to have anxiety about this. I mean, you probably are already well aware that someone's being sneaky and lying. I mean, you're probably intuitively aware that someone, and it's almost like somebody always is. There's always someone in our environment that just can't play fair, that just can't treat us like an equal, but has to. I mean, it does come from a place of intimidation, because they understand that if the battle were open and fair, they would lose. They have a good chance of losing. So rather than do that, they're going to be sneaky little bitches here and take something, because they know that. So this is where strength of character and moral integrity is coming in. Are you the one lying? Are you the one not talking about things, trying to get away with something, sneaking something? Is that you? Because you're being asked to have strength of character and moral integrity. It couldn't be clearer. This King of Coins, male or female, does have this strength of character and moral integrity. To get where they got, it's taken a lot of strength and a lot of integrity. The King of Coins, in my opinion, is the king with the most integrity. And then we have the card with the least amount of integrity here in the current situation. So, and they're right next to each other. They're almost they should be facing off, but this guy's sneaking. They should be facing off, but they're not going to, or they're trying not to. What's on your mind is this Wheel of Fortune. How quickly things change, how quickly our fortunes change, how quickly things outside of our control change. This is in your inner landscape, your hopes, your fears, things that are weigh on your mind and you're thinking about. You're thinking about luck. You're thinking about how things kind of can change and change the whole situation. Things outside of your control coming in to change things. The Wheel of Fortune, to me, talks about a lack of control over the process, over what's happening. It's out of your hands. You don't have it. And I think that's something that's on your mind. And also just the way things can change, the luck, the shifts in energy, the shifts in, you think it's going one way and then it's going in next. You can almost hear the whoa, ooh, as it shifts, the crowd reacts. They thought you were going to make a basket, but instead you got a broken leg, like that kind of thing. Like it's on your mind, all these things outside of our control, and they affect our lives. And it's just forces in the universe. And maybe you're hoping for someone to come in, some outside force to come in and take this guy out, if it's you. It could be some sort of consequences, hoping for some consequences. I mean, luck is beyond consequences. It's outside of that whole mentality and that whole realm. But there is a sense where we can meet good luck by being prepared, and thwart bad luck by being prepared. So you may be thinking about, preparing for a change of luck. What's at issue here is this Ace of Cups, but it's in reverse. So it's not having a relationship, or not having a new relationship, not having a new friend. Something here, in the upright, we'd say a new relationship, a new emotional relationship, a new friendship, but that's not happening. There's no new relationship coming in here. There's almost like very little peace here. There's very little equanimity. Like I was saying, there's anxiety, which you'd be hard not to have anxiety with the Seven of Swords sitting on here. This thinking about the Wheel of Fortune here and how things are out of your control. So this is a lack of equanimity, maybe a lack of being able to share with somebody, a lack of peace, inner peace. It's not coming in, and it was supposed to be something new that you were looking for, or that it's like something was supposed to come in and it didn't. Some sort of relationship was supposed to get off the ground. Maybe they just snuck off and they like ghosted you, because there's no cup here, or it's instead of being like inspired and emotionally like excited by a new friendship, it's like you're drained and you're emptied, and this whole situation is very draining for you, I think. There's not peace here. There's not the peace that you were expecting or looking for. Maybe you did this. Maybe you did this because you were trying to keep the peace. You were trying to be peaceful, and all I can see with these lights is like my greasy fingerprints all over these cards. But maybe someone here, right? Because there's no battle if there's no swords, right? So maybe you were trying to keep the peace. Maybe I came down a little hard on you about the lying. Maybe you were just trying to keep the peace, but it hasn't happened. You don't feel any peace, even though that's what you were trying to do, either by lying or, but again, keeping the peace, you decided to keep the peace. You, or whoever did this, if they did this to keep the peace, what they decided was that they think there should be peace, and they're going to do whatever it takes to keep the peace, leaving whatever somebody else wants. That means that you had something that was going to upset somebody else, right? And you didn't share it. Well, why would it upset them? Maybe it would upset them for a very good reason, right? And instead of sharing it with them, this person withheld this information because they knew they'd be upset, and they didn't want to deal with them being upset. Well, why are they upset? They might have a good reason to be upset. So, and that's their prerogative. That's the other person's prerogative, whether they're going to be upset or not. So this could have been trying to keep the peace, and there isn't any. There isn't any. So it was a failure anyway. And so, or maybe you're being tempted right now to lie or to withhold, because we're getting this strong message, right? It was the only one that came out. It's very strong, flower. Strength of moral character, moral integrity. You could be tempted right now to keep the peace because there isn't going to be peace, or there isn't peace. So maybe if you just shut up and don't talk about it, there might be some peace. Well, it's not fair to anybody else. So here's Five of Swords. Here's what's going on in your environment. There's which again starts to explain why this is so tempting, why someone would want to do that. Because this Five of Swords in your environment means that you're in a situation. The situation is, and maybe the King of Coins put you in this situation. Like, I want to think that this man is very high integrity, but this Five of Swords sits right underneath him. I do feel like the King of Coins does have a lot of integrity. But underneath him sits this Five of Swords. This is a rock and a hard place. This is a decision. Someone may have put you in a very difficult position where it's either screw somebody else over or screw yourself over. It's the windshield or the bug. It's just that impossible lose-lose situation. Most of us want compromise. Most of us want to find some sort of middle ground, find some place where everybody gets at least something. But there's certain ones among us where they just only see that there's winners and losers, and then they create constantly situations where there's only winners and losers. And it's hard to navigate that and figure out so it looks like this is a situation either created by someone in this situation, or just as the inherent in the situation is this Five of Swords, this winners and losers. And there's no in between, and there's no room for compromise. Someone has all the swords or someone has none of the swords. It's got to be one of you. One of you gets what they want, one of you doesn't. So that's a situation that's going on around you. It could be other people and you're just keeping your mouth shut here, or could be something you're part of. I mean, I can see it. Like if somebody created a win-lose situation where there's no room for compromise and someone's got to be the loser, if that's the truth, then who wouldn't do this? Who wouldn't? I mean, you got to be sneaky and lie then, because if, so in both of these, somebody has all the swords. Right? And this guy's stealing the swords, and this guy kind of bullied them. This is a bully situation, and bullied the swords. So, and swords are truth, communication, talking. I mean, obviously they represent battle. And so there's a real temptation here to lack integrity, or, having been in situations like that, there is a real difficult choice where, okay, well, I'm not going to get out of this alive. So I guess I'll lie to get out of the situation, and then, and that sucks, but I didn't have many choices here. So live to fight another day, or die with my integrity fully intact. And since we're talking about integrity, that's kind of the vibe of this card. That's the vibe of this card. So your to-do list is this Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is not trapped. You do have options. So in swords, we have Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, and Eight of Swords. I told you had all the shitty swords. I mean, we don't have Three of Swords, so hey, right? But Eight of Swords here, you're not trapped. You think you're trapped. You think you can't go anywhere, but you're not. You can free yourself. That's the lesson of the Eight of Swords. I mean, she's not even bound here. Her hands could easily undo this bow. Do you see that there's a bow here? You might not be able to. There's a bow. Like she's bound with a bow. And then this blindfold hardly covers. It's loosely draped. And then the swords are just behind her and in front of her, but the path goes through them. She's not trapped. So this is a self-delusion here of I have no choice. And every time you say I have no choice but to lie. I have no choice but to withhold this information. I have no choice. Every time you say that, you're the only one making the bounds tighter. Every time you say that mantra, it makes it tighter and tighter. You do have choices. You do have options. You can deal with this. There are choices. There are options. You can free yourself from the situation. It feels like you can't. I mean, and there's a lot of evidence here that you can't. But this Eight of Swords is all about you can. You have to understand it's just in your head. It's just the way you're seeing it. You're coming to the situation possibly with a win-lose mentality. Or, maybe this person is bullying you, but you can get out of it. And maybe they will be pissed off and maybe they will be mad. But you'll still be free here because you don't have peace right now. You can still get free. You can still have, that's the Eight of Swords energy, is starting to understand that you're not as trapped as you think you are. It could also be pretend you're trapped, pretend you're stuck, because it's all in her mind, and she feels like such a victim here. Oh my God, I'm so trapped. I'm so stuck. I have no choice, which is my least favorite phrase in the English language. I have no choice. You always have a choice. Sometimes your choices are really awful and horrible, but you do always have a choice. If someone's holding a gun to your head and says, do this or I'll shoot you, you still have the choice of getting shot, right? Like, you don't always have a choice if someone just shoots you and you weren't paying attention or whatever. But, in general, when we're saying I didn't have a choice, you did have a choice and you need to own that you made one, right? And so if that is part of the situation, is this mantra of I don't have a choice, you do have a choice. That's basically the only thing that you're being asked to do right now, is acknowledge that you have a choice and you're not as trapped as you think you are. I mean, maybe you just don't understand that this is a win-lose situation, and you just need to be like, I do have a choice. They're both shitty choices, but I do have a choice. And that could be where your power comes in this situation, that you do have a choice. It may be a difficult choice. It looks like it is, but you're not having peace by pretending you don't have one. So you might as well face the music and realize that you do have a choice. Man, I told you this was a heavy reading. I saw these cards and was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to say things that I wouldn't say. And then you have, as your possible outcome, the Fool card. Heading out on your own, saying yes to something, saying yes to the future, saying yes to a new path, a new way of doing something, a new path forward. Is it dangerous? Yeah, this whole reading has basically been dangerous. Is it a little bit scary? Absolutely. But you're moving forward. You feel that you see the dangers. You see it's dark. There are cliffs. I get it. But you take the steps anyway to head out on a new path. Right? Maybe it's this new path. Maybe once you open your eyes, you see that there's a new path to follow. There is something else to follow, and you come to a new situation, and you embark on a new journey here. So you do have a choice. You can embark on a new journey, but man, this was heavy with the strength of character. Okay. Whew. All right. Let's see what the wild Kuan Yin says for a little exclamation mark at the end of the sentence. This is, 22-minute long sentence. All right. No, that's a book, honey. I can't take that. But I'll take the first two that popped out. They're a little separate. So, okay. So we have, look at that. Dream your dreams. Trust that the desires in your heart are placed there lovingly by the universe. You are meant to dream of what you dream. Okay. It's got a little bit of this vibe. You want to move forward? You want something else? May seem a little bit impossible right now, but trust it. If you want something else, you can have it. Medicine of the Divine Mother. I definitely felt like a scolding mother in this reading. Choose your divine medicine to feel grounded and peaceful. Yeah, because you don't have any peace here. Your morning walk, daily prayer, yoga class, time to dance each evening or meditate, do an oracle card reading, or sit quietly with a cup of tea and reflect upon what you are grateful for in that moment. Simple daily routines done with awareness allow you to feel my love for you. All right. Yeah, finding some peace here in this situation. All right, Cancer, I hope that was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes and your comments and your subscribes. And if you would like a personal reading, I am doing those right now too. So just email me at empressrose1111@gmail.com.